Good afternoon. It's happy birthday. Yes. Yes, it's Dawn's birthday, and we're making a video for you guys. That must mean you're very special. Today's just going to be a question and answer. We haven't done one of these in close to a year now. We get asked questions all the time about this crazy lifestyle that I started to say that we've chosen, but I'm not sure if we've chosen it or
It chose
us. I'm not sure exactly how that worked. But anyway, we've got a few questions here that we've been asked and a couple of things that we just thought you'd want to know. So we thought we'd just do this real quick. Today we are in Gulf Shores, Alabama, underneath a little restaurant, cool little place.
Called The Catch.
The Catch, good seafood.
David had the swordfish. It was phenomenal.
Some of the things that we get asked. Let's just start and go down the list.
Okay.
How do you prepare for a trip? That's a double answer. Usually me, I almost start the day we get back from the last trip. As I'm reloading, moving trailers, I'm reloading the truck, moving Invictus out, moving this in. I've got all of that to do. I've got farm work that I have to get taken care of. Not just feeding animals and stuff, but it's always a process getting everything caught up. Depending on which week it is, I have food to prepare. We go to the Country Cupboard. We try to eat a lot of healthy
Country
food.
Cupboard is a natural food store there in Russet.
That's where I get all of my dates and nuts, pumpkin seeds from, and all of that kind of stuff. Of course, I've got to make jerky. I don't have to do that every week, probably every second or third week, just depending on how much we've eaten. We eat a lot of deer jerky.
For me, I'm unpacking, repacking, of course, doing laundry. Another thing I do is I try to figure out how many meals we need, and I try to prepare for the majority of our meals. It gets really tiring eating out. I have some autoimmune issues, and so I have to be really careful with how they prepare things. And so it's just easier most of the time just for me to prepare my own food. David's been doing a lot of research on seed oils and how bad they are for you. And most restaurant uses seed oils. And so we use a lot of butter and tallow for our cooking personally. So it just makes it a lot easier for us. I normally hard boil some eggs. Then I also come up with just things that we can eat on the road, things that don't have to be heated, that actually taste okay if they're not heated.
Just simple things.
And then we also have little crock pots. So kind of depending on what
we cook in the truck a lot.
What I decide to do, we may just heat it up in the crock pots.
Yeah. Make it easy. How many miles have we traveled this year?
Okay, so today's July 6th.
The blue truck, the new truck, it has 21,000 miles on it. We got it in March. I'm not sure how many the other had off the top of my head. I should have looked that up.
I think it was 16.
That's probably right.
I think 15, you said 16.
So we're probably at about 35,000 miles so far this year.
Technically, this is our second vacation this year. The first one wasn't just an us vacation. We went with his family on a cruise.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So this is technically our second vacation.
Yeah. And not everything we do is always traveling. Like the expo was week before last, and it was just in Little Rock. So that really didn't put any miles. So.
Oh, but that was a whole lot of stress.
Yeah, that was a whole lot of stress. All right, so we travel a lot. We're gonna hit somewhere between 65 and 70,000 a year. Last year we hit 67,000. 67,000 last year. Oh, here's one for you. How many states this year?
We have been in, if I've counted it correctly, 27, not including Washington, D.C. And if we want to drive an hour, we can make that 28 because Florida is just an hour away from where we're at right now.
Yeah, it's not that important.
So as of right now, I think we're still at 27.
How many trips have we made? That's not on the list.
This is trip number 2 for fun, but we've been on 17 trips this year. But for
deliveries
and meets. I'm trying to keep up with that this year just for the fun of it, just for me. I get excited about stupid stuff like that. Same with keeping up with the states that we've been in. That's exciting for me. So
I actually think it's cool. So when do we take off?
Never.
No. I've worked this morning on the road. We're going to ask this question in a minute, but some of the things we like and dislike. But one of the things I do like about this whole thing is now full time, she's sitting right beside me. So when something pops into my mind, instead of having to figure it out, I can immediately just stop and say, hey, write this down, or hey, look this up for me, and And so literally while we were driving in here this morning, more than once I stopped and said, hey, write this down or whatever. So
Yeah, we sent an email this morning.
we don't, yeah, we sent out a blanket email this morning. Did some things like that. But so we don't really ever stop. There's not really, I mean, we do take days off where we're not doing official Invictus powerlifting or official the Proving Ground or official SPF or,
and like
but
today
like-
is
go ahead.
today is pretty much our only off day for this year where we actually planned it off. And that's because I really like birthdays. And so I begged him to take me to the beach for
She
my
usually
birthday.
gets to go, if we're within a few hundred miles, she gets to go to the beach on her birthday.
And so we were at some friend's house and their little boys were turning 1 and 2. And so we went to their birthday party and I was able to take some family pictures for them. And
And that was fun.
yeah,
I got to do a parade yesterday. Actually, you know, I think I've got some video. I'll insert a little bit of video right here, but well, tell everybody what we're doing today. Go ahead.
We are throwing candy for Town of Palm Level, and you got roped into it.
Yes, I got roped into it. That's what happened. Hey, but the arm candy's good.
Oh, yes, I am.
All right, here we go. Candy and all kinds of fun stuff. Mary Beth was my arm candy yesterday.
the candy arm.
Yeah, my candy arm. She was throwing candy. We had a good time though. Got to ride around in one of Greg's Mustangs, so that was fun. So we do take days off. So I don't think we did any work yesterday, did you?
I did.
Did you?
I
Yeah.
worked on trying to get a website kind of
Oh,
figured
that's right.
out.
Yeah.
So for 2 days, I've been trying to figure out how we're going to do another website and getting some information for that.
That's for the
So-
expo. Let's see. Do you get tired of traveling?
Yes.
This is going to be a weird answer. Yes, I get tired of traveling. And when I stay at home for more than about 2 weeks
Yes.
straight, I get so stir crazy that I just want somebody to buy something so that I can go
Leave,
somewhere.
yeah.
Once you get used to it, you get comfortable running all the time. You miss it when it's not there.
For me, because I do still, we just remodeled the house. And so I do still have quite a bit of work to do to completely finish it. So I like being home a little bit more than he does, just because I'm able to spend a little bit more time working on the house and doing some of the things that need to be done there.
Well, see, I like being home. I just feel like I'm missing something. I feel like I should be out
That's
running.
because you're a worker.
Yeah, no. Moving right along. What's your favorite part of traveling?
Just seeing the new places, meeting new people. We've made some really good contacts
Yeah.
and really good friends over the years, just traveling place to place. We were able to go to Montana and Idaho this year, and that was just in
Yeah.
the middle of a snowstorm. So, I mean, it was fun. It was scary,
Yeah, we'll
but it
talk
was
about that.
beautiful. Absolutely, some of the most beautiful scenery was going that direction. So, I like to meet the new people and to see the new places.
Yeah, that's my favorite. I really enjoy some of the stops we do. I really enjoy the gym owners that I get to meet, some of the gyms that I get to go into that I might see pictures of them or something, but you know, I get to go and deliver a piece of equipment there and that's fun. I enjoy that. What's your least favorite part of traveling?
That my booty hurts all the time from sitting.
Boy, I have to think about this.
That and so that was my funny answer. But no, we don't get to go to church as much as we like to because most of our competitions are on Saturdays. And so unless they're really close, it's hard to get back in time for church on Sunday.
I like the ones where we get to leave after church.
Yes.
I enjoy those. That makes it easier. We'll go to our Sunday school class, which we adore. Then we'll go, to church, and then a lot of times I'll be already loaded,
Mhm.
truck's already packed, and we'll just leave.
Yeah.
So I like that. My least favorite part, probably be missing church. Besides that, my least favorite part is probably eating out. I despise these restaurants.
Because of the things that we said before, the way
Yeah,
they
just-
cook things, like last night. We won't mention the name, but we went to this restaurant last night and David
A
asked
seafood place.
for fresh fish. And she was like, well, that is fresh fish.
No,
It was fish that came out of a package. That's not fresh fish.
well, it wasn't even seafood.
And it was sway,
sway. Yeah,
SWAI.
that's a That's a farm fish.
So it wasn't
That's
fresh
not
caught.
seafood at all.
David
That's
was
not even. It's not even seafood.
right. You were trying to say like fresh caught fish, and everything was fried. Everything was fried.
Yeah.
I had the gumbo, and it was nasty. I couldn't even eat it.
Yeah, it was horrible.
So
that's my
yeah.
least favorite part. Here's a couple for you. Are you glad you quit your job? This
Um,
is going to be a complicated answer.
I was born a teacher. I know that I was meant to be a teacher from the time that I was in preschool. I used to line my animals up and teach them. They weren't very good students, but I used to try to teach them. The not being able to have a classroom of my own and be able to spend time with the kids and seeing those aha moments and watching them learn how to read or multiply or add or whatever it is that I'm teaching, that part has been a little difficult. I do have the opportunity to teach a church, so that helps. That gets a little bit of that desire taken care of. So that's kind of a double-edged sword. Yes, I'm glad I quit my job. I miss having money of my own to just spend how I want, because now I have to be like, hey, do we have an extra 100 that I can spend? That part's kind of rough.
What's it like working for me?
Horrible sometimes, fabulous sometimes. David is a very hard boss to deal with. I'm one of the few people in his life that can deal with his micromanaging. David feels like, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but most of the time he feels like the way he does it is the other way to do it.
It is.
Or the best way to do it.
It is.
So he doesn't necessarily like the fact that he tells me to do something, and so I do it my way.
Not after 20 questions.
And then he thinks that it's wrong. So then I ask questions and he says, no, that's too many questions. So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place when it comes to dealing with David. He's a fun boss.
That's Brittany. That's Zach.
Yeah, we all roll our eyes behind his back. He just doesn't see it.
Yes. No, I know they do. I am a hard boss. If I give you something, I just want you to do it. I don't want to have to think about it. One of the things I adore about Brittany,
then he
Brittany,
gripes if you
you're
don't
watching,
do it right.
That's true.
Or
Brittany,
his
if
way.
you're watching this, I love the fact that you almost never call me. That's my favorite part about Brittany.
It's because she doesn't have to get your permission for things.
No, she just goes and does them, and I find out later. I like that. And Zach is just almost to that point.
Mhm.
He still calls me and lets me know he's going to go spend thousands of dollars.
Well, but they've both also worked for you a lot more than I have.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And they also don't have to live with him.
That does complicate things.
It sure does.
So it's difficult. I'm a difficult boss. I've always been a difficult boss.
And he doesn't pay much.
No, I don't pay you anything
That's the problem.
except love.
Oh, yay.
How do you balance life and work? We don't.
No.
Absolutely. And let
There's
me
always
explain
something
something.
at work that needs to be done, or always something at home that needs to be done.
That's right.
And because we do everything together, things do get put on the back burner.
I'm going to preach for a second.
Okay, preach.
One of the things that I really don't like about the world is the fact that people don't like work. That's ridiculous. You spend more time working than you do sleeping. Why are you doing anything if you don't like? I like this, and I think you like this.
Most of the time,
I like this lifestyle.
when he's not being a weenie.
Yeah, but I mean the work, not me.
Oh, the work itself is fabulous.
You know, it's fun. It's the fact that we're always doing something different, always in a different
Mhm.
place. I like that.
Even if it's the same type of work,
Yeah,
it
when you're
seems different because
2,500 miles away from the last
Yeah.
place, it's different. And we've got to go literally coast to coast, border to border.
we've actually been coast to coast this year almost.
yeah.
Not quite, but real close.
But as far as balancing life and work, there's no such thing.
Well, I'm thankful though that we have Kirsten and Billy at home, because when we're gone, they are able to take care of our animals. They live just right across from us. And so that does help, that I don't worry as much about the animals because they're home taking care of them. So
And that was part of the deal when we first got them.
yeah.
I talked to the girls, and they know that they had to help us when they got them in. So
But not
That
sure what's
wasn't
going to happen when Billy and Kirsten move. For now, it's working out really well for us.
moving on, no balance. A lot of people know that we run hard. As a matter of fact, there was a couple years ago, we spent almost 190 days in a hotel room. So, and everybody probably thinks, oh, that's awesome. Let me tell you, that sucks. Everything about that sucks. At $100 a pop, that's $19,000 just in hotel rooms.
Well, and you don't always know how clean they are.
Yeah, you don't really know anything about them. So, and a lot of times we're just in there for 5 or 6 hours. So we get asked a lot about, everybody knows that we sleep in the truck a lot. We sleep in the back of the truck. We sleep in the front of the truck
A lot.
a lot. Almost every trip we do, we're going to at least spend one night inside the truck.
As long as the temperature is decent.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if it's 85 degrees in there and you can't do it. So if it's 16 degrees, then you sleep in the truck. That's different.
That's when we carry our sleeping bags with us and we snuggle up, put the sleeping bags all the way up to our necks and
Go to
put
sleep.
on a toboggan and there we go.
I get people that always are just saying, well, my wife wouldn't do that. Well, there's perks to it. $100 a day,
That's right.
you know.
And that's less that
And-
I have to work with on taxes too. So, because I do all of our gathering all of our tax stuff up. So,
Yeah.
if we're not in that hotel room, I don't have to worry about writing that down. So, I kind of like that too.
And interestingly enough, what happens is if you're going to stay in a hotel room, about 6 or 7 o'clock, you guys are going to slide in so you can take your showers and you can eat and you can do all of this stuff. And then you're going to go to bed at 10 or 11. You're going to get up at 5 or 6.
So, 12 hours and that's $100.
Yeah, see, we're not going to do that. We're going to drive till 10 o'clock. We're going to go get in the hotel room. We're going to get in bed, showers, blah, blah. We're going to get up at 5 and we're going to be gone again. When I could do that in the truck and end up with an extra hour, sometimes 2 hours of sleep,
Mm-hmm.
just because I'm sleeping in the front seat, pull over to the rest area, done.
And there are some really nice rest areas,
Depending on
especially
what kind of part of the country you're
on the
in.
west side.
Yeah.
As you're going past like Kansas and all of that, they are really nice.
Yeah.
And they also have some really good signage that lets you know how far away the next one is.
Montana's nice.
So,
Montana's super nice. North Dakota, South Dakota, both they've got great rest areas. So
Montana's the place where it was how many degrees outside?
16,
It was 16 degrees
44
outside.
mile an hour winds.
A couple of times the wind hit the truck so hard that I woke up out of a deep sleep thinking that we were about to be tumbled.
And there's a
It-
video on here about
It was
that.
freaky.
Yeah,
It was absolutely freaky.
that was
That was an
it.
adventure.
Yeah, well, we were talking about that the other day. Some of these times, you know, like that, sleeping in the back of the truck 2 nights in a row during an ice storm, it's a part of the adventure. I mean, if you want normal, go get a corporate job and stay in, and you know that's not what we signed on for. So we enjoy the adventure part of it,
Mhm.
even if it's just going somewhere and going through a museum or something one
Oh,
day or
yeah.
another. We really enjoy that. We enjoy finding these little mom and pop, like the little TV car museum we
Oh
saw.
my
a
goodness,
few
that
months
was
ago.
amazing.
Yeah, that was fun. So there's a lot to it, but generally speaking, I couldn't imagine. Well, 2 things. I couldn't imagine going to work for somebody else and being on an idiot schedule. I can't imagine just having a normal 9 to 5 anything.
Even when you worked for somebody, you didn't have a normal 9 to 5. So you definitely wouldn't know what that was like.
No, I've always, you guys that work 8 to 5 and work 40 hours a week, which I really think is cute. So that's nothing wrong with that. I think those little part-time jobs are cute.
Oh my goodness.
When I was in my teens, I worked at Bonanza for Mike Brady, probably one of the most influential men in my life. I conduct business the way he taught me to. And even back then, we worked 60 or 65 hours a week, unless somebody else was on vacation, in which case we worked until it was done. So I've always worked big hours. And that wasn't a chore. Those men were great to work for. We had a blast. His son now runs Barangas, still his place. They're in Russellville. Wonderful, wonderful people.
One of the things
So-
that I can say about David and myself is we do enjoy work. And it really doesn't matter what kind of work, whether it's hard
No.
labor or whether it's being on the computer or editing videos, or we enjoy having something to do. We're not very good at, either one of us are very good at sitting. That's why normally in the truck, I almost brought it out here just for the fun of it. I'm normally crocheting or doing something or reading a book or working on pictures or websites or whatever. So we enjoy work. That's what the Lord put us here to do. We are put here to work, to build for our grandchildren and our great grandchildren. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build a legacy for them through this business. So we'll see.
We enjoy what we do. Guys, we're so glad that y'all came, and if you've made it this far into the video, wow.
It's a long video. I hope he cuts about 20% of it out.
We love you guys. Listen, if you've got questions for us, we'll try to do these maybe once or twice a year. This is where we sit down and talk for a few minutes. So if you've got questions, send them to us. I'd love to know your questions and see if I can give an answer to it, whether it's about farming or traveling or powerlifting or whatever it is, depending on which day of the week it is, that depends on what we're doing. So we love you guys. See you next time.
Oh, I'm too old for this.